We are in the midst of the early voting period here at the Garland County Election Commission, and with me today is Jenna Watson, who is the chair of the Garland County Election Commission. Welcome, Ms. Watson.
Thank you, and thank you for coming over here. There's a lot of information we need to get out to the voters.
Yes, we're going to do some of that today. And as Ms. Watson can tell you, there's nothing that she likes better than to see a crowded room here.
Yes, we were applauding all day yesterday with the great crowds, and especially, after the Supreme Court decision to knock down the photo identification. We are rocking, and the voters have just been so accepting because we're still asking for identification. The 2012 law requires us to ask for identification, but not photo, and the voter does not have to provide identification, but it sure does help us spell your name correctly when we're putting it in the computer. So just asking you and looking at any kind of identification with your name on it really helps us, because we have people come in. Let's example Smith. Is it S-M-I-T-H, S-M-Y-T-H? That just helps us put your name in the computer correctly, and we appreciate your help.
So the bottom line is, it's better to bring an ID with you if you want to help expedite the process for everyone.
Yes, any kind of identification where we can spell your name correctly. Now, the law also requires that we ask you to state your name, address, and birth date, even if it's on the identification you provide. State law, we must do it.
Now let's ask another common question. People want to know what they will be voting on, and what you vote on depends on where you live. So how can people find out what they're going to vote on?
We have 184 different ballots, and where you live determines which one of those ballots you are to vote. You can go to the Arkansas Secretary of State online and go to Voter View. They'll ask your name, you fill that in, and they will bring up the ballot that you are qualified to vote. You can also go to the county clerk online. I'm sorry to say the Election Commission does not have a website. Maybe one of these days. And also, when you come in to vote, if you haven't had the opportunity to read the 5 issues that are on the ballot, we hand you a copy. You can read them right here before you get behind the voting machine. And that saves a little bit of time.
And you can also find out information on the ballot issues online, is that correct?
Yes, Secretary of State's office.
Okay, very good. Now, will someone show people how to use the voting machines if they are concerned?
Oh,
Or if they're not
absolutely.
sure?
If you've ever used an ATM at your bank, then you can use the voting machine. It's the same thing. But I do want to stress, many people think that these voting machines are online. They are not. They're hooked up to the electricity because that's what feeds them and makes them run. There's nothing leaving the voting machine to go online or to communicate with any other computer anywhere.
So no internet connection whatsoever?
None whatsoever. We do have the internet connection when we check you in to vote. That way we are assured that you are a registered voter, and of course we can't let you vote if you're not. So we have to do that.
Another common question is, how do I change my vote if I make a wrong selection?
On the electronic machine, all you have to do, if you voted here, is touch down here, and it automatically changes. You can stand there and change your vote back and forth all you want, and it will accept the last one that you voted. And then before you leave the machine, it will ask you to review. And you look at what you voted on that machine, you review everything, and if you change your mind again, you can go back.
We're already running out of time and there's so many issues to cover, but let's tell everybody about the end of early voting and
Okay.
when Election Day will take place.
Okay, Election Day is November 4th. The last early voting date is Monday, November 3rd. Here at 649A Washita, we start voting at 8 o'clock in the morning and we end at 6 p.m. at the old Armory out by the college on Mid-America Boulevard. They start at 8 a.m. and end at 5 p.m. And it's the same in the village on 7 North at Faith Fellowship Church. They start at 8 and end at 5. Remember, we end at 6. There's only one place you can do early voting on Saturday, and that is here at 649A Washita, and that's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. But let me caution you, on Wednesday on Highway 7 North at Faith Fellowship, we have to end at noon because they have services. So there is a little bit of difference there.
But still, there are options, and how wonderful to have Saturday voting. Thank you for giving us so much information, and thank you for your service on the Election Commission along with the other commissioners who provide such a valuable service to our community.
Thank you for being here and helping us get the word out to the voters. They deserve to know what's going on.
That is so true. Well, thank you again, and next week we'll bring you more City News.